Good morning. Welcome to this episode of The Church Office. We are here with a very special guest, our awesome receptionist, Jessica Bursaw. It's a really hard name to pronounce. I've never pronounced it correctly.
It's easy to pronounce, but it doesn't, when you read it, it's like, oh, that's not Bursaw.
Oh, yeah. No, it's spelled, what is it, French?
It is French, so you kind of think of bourbon. You don't say bourbon, you don't say bourbon.
Okay.
Oh, I always say bourbon.
Before we introduce Jess, all right, PJ, Jess, just sit tight. We've got some business to attend to.
Okay, what do we got?
So have you been contacted by any sponsors?
You know what? No.
I figure it probably doesn't happen overnight, right?
I kind of thought it would.
I guess it'll take a while. I've got some bad news about Sandy Creek, though. I went to Sandy Creek on Sunday.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, I'm clergy. The clergy.
You told me about this before. Yeah.
Exactly. You were very excited. Being brand new clergy.
Yeah.
Right. There's no waiting limit. It's not like buying a gun. There's no time limit. Right. You can. Boom.
As soon as you're ordained.
Clergy rates hit immediately. You could have played Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
Anyway, they discarded the clergy rates. They no longer exist.
That's not good.
Sandy Creek has got a strongly worded email in their future from me, so not exactly sure how it happened. Let's see, you and me, we're still going to go down and play it. Yeah. We're going to play Sandy Creek with our partner, with Wes and Lee, not Wes Lee, but Wes and Lee. Yeah. Okay, those are two different people.
In fact, I promised Wes I would buy the round when we played Sandy Creek because I knew it was going to be free. So I don't.
This just gets worse and worse. This just goes from worse to worse. Anyway, all right. So, we'll make that. We'll do something with that. Today we've got coffee cups. Jess, thank you. Jess brought us in coffee.
I figured if I brought you in coffee, you would let me talk about whatever I wanted to talk about. So
that's right.
And I get McDonald's coffee every morning, so I figured I would share my usual coffee with you, even though I've got the latte. It looks like milk. Your guys looks like mud.
This is just classic black coffee. So, let's talk about our coffee mugs here. What do you got going on there? Jess, you brought two for your stuff, right? I brought these two. So this one, Fat Heart, is my publishing company that I release my books from, and I release a blog from. So it's I started in 2019, right before I started working here. So I could release my books. So I released these two books. These are my first two books. All right.
This one I released in 2019. This one I released in 2021. And a lot of people have actually read them.
Nice.
Go to church here. So
great.
But I'm releasing another book coming up, and that
is
this coffee mug.
Right.
So the book's called Morning Song.
Okay.
And I've been working on it for about 2.5 years.
Okay.
So this is the cover on this mug. And I also have the cover on the paper that I printed off. This is it.
And that is currently being edited, correct?
So it's being edited by my official editor, my sister Anna.
Yes.
So Anna's also a member here. She's been editing my books since she was 10 years old. She sits on our family computer and just scroll through, make sure everything was good. Yeah. So they were not as good back then. So I think that could have had something to do with her being not a great editor back then. But she's a really good editor now. So she's editing it now. I'm going to probably get them printed between end of this week, early next week, and then hopefully on July 12th, I'll be selling the book.
Awesome. So when you're here in church, if you go to church on Saturday, you'll typically see Jess and Anna right there in their spot.
We're in the very back.
They're right there, like all good Lutherans are. same pew every week.
We sit in the back for a reason, because when we first started,
I know this.
Yeah. So well, there's two reasons. So one is that I do the bookstore every other weekend. So I have to kind of come in late, leave late, and people look at you really a little judgily. I don't want to say names, but there are people who judge you when you come in late to the service. Like, did you not see me behind the glass? I was here. So that's one reason. But the other reason is, I'm from CTK originally. So I went to school here for 7th and 8th grade. Went through high school youth group here. Went here for my early 20s. And then I started working as a youth leader at Calvary and Lincoln Park.
Right.
So at that point, I didn't officially move my membership. I kind of just started going there because I was there on Sundays. So I started working here during that time. Stopped doing the youth group, came back here. So when you're coming back after a long time, we didn't want to sit in our previous spots.
Oh,
like, where do we sit now? So the back seemed like we can eye out where everybody else sits, not steal anybody's seat. And then we just stuck there.
It's kind of like a rebranding.
Yes, like a rebranding.
Right, exactly. So, all right, very good. Yep. Speaking of which, a little shout out to the donation station. I was there yesterday saying hi to my mom, right? And I knew that I wanted to have a special coffee cup too, as well. Guys, look what I found. I don't know if you see this. She's this Nurse Linda. Right.
You saw the price tag on?
Yeah, I saw the price tag. I'm just borrowing it. I'm not paying $1 for this. I told my mom, bring it back. It's kind of like don't women do that? They buy a dress, they wear it out, they keep the price tag on. I've seen that in rom-coms, right? Is that a real thing?
That is a real thing.
Okay, there you go.
For my sister Rachel's wedding, we actually we got bridesmaids dresses off of Amazon because she's very low key and chill. We were really thankful for that. They were like $20, and then so my sister Anna got hers. Still had the tag on, but it had a bobby pin in it and smelled like McDonald's.
Oh, wait. So she got one. Somebody else did that. Okay. I was going to say, Jess, stop the story, man. You're going to get in trouble. Okay. Got it. Okay.
We still have the dresses.
All right. Right. So she got the used one.
She got the used dress with the McDonald's smell.
Someone from the donation station is going to get this. But guys, check this out. I'm looking at this Nurse Linda, right?
Yeah, Nurse Linda.
And this is so odd. But if you can see the needle on there, guys, that's not a not a pediatric shot needle. That is a assassin's needle. Yeah. Nurse Linda, it's more like a Bond villain that we've got going on
here.
It
could be your next book.
I think so. So meanwhile, I'm talking to Mom about this. And Mom, where on earth did you get this? And lo and behold, Mom said, "There's right over there. Linda was in the building volunteering at the time."
Oh, wow.
And she just kind of said, "Hi, I'm Nurse Linda."
That's
I'm
awesome.
Like, oh my God.
Wow. That better that you know where
and so I know where it came. And she says to me, "Somebody got that for me as a gift, and I don't drink coffee," which I don't want to call Nurse Linda out, but you can drink a lot more things. Thank you. I got to think that Nurse Linda looked this and went, donation station. Anyway. But I think it's fantastic. All right. So, all right, Jess, another thing I've learned about the, podcast game or whatever, video recording game here is that when you have a special guest on, you give them a chance to kind of promo some of their stuff, right? So you talked about your books a little bit. You got the new one coming out. What else is going on? I know that you do your book club. Let's talk about that.
My book club. Right. So it's not actually my book club. It was started by the ladies of the church office.
Okay.
And first meeting was January 2024. It was kind of the idea originally of Kelly Inch, who is our finance lady. She said, "Why don't we make a book club for all the ladies in the church office?" I said, "Why don't we just make it for everybody in the church?" So we've read Begin Again by Max Lucado, Pontius Pilate by Paul Meyer, and we are currently starting The Divine Mentor by, I don't remember his name, but
I think it was on the talking point you gave us.
It's in the talking point.
It is.
Is it Wayne?
Jess is the first guest to come with talking points.
Wayne Cordero. Wayne Cordero is the one this one. So if anybody is interested, it's women from high school age all the way up to however old. And it's so much fun. We meet once a month, Mondays. It's just a good time. Everybody who's a part of it takes away so much. I take away so much from it. So I kind of lead the discussion when we're there. And then everybody will join in. But we do crafts. Last month we made bookmarks, which is really fun.
Sounds like VBS for grown-ups.
It's kind of like a VBS for grown-ups. There's more talking and no snacks. Sometimes there's snacks, actually. So, and then sometimes, once a month usually, we'll have the brass practicing behind us while we're in the cater room.
Oh, it's like a soundtrack.
Yes, you get music while you're talking. It's really epic. Nice.
So imagine my surprise, though, when I tried to double dip, go right from brass rehearsal to the book club, and I found out ladies only.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's a big no-man.
There's a
it's kind of like an invite only. Invite like finer things, right? It's one of those types of things.
So if anyone's interested in reading any sort of Christian books, and on that note also, my books are very much so Christian inspired books. So I always have like a Christ figure in my books. And a lot of people who read them say, "Oh, I think this is about Jesus." And I'm like, "It's about Jesus."
That's right.
If you like books about Jesus, buy my new book.
I know that I don't know if your favorite Christian author is C.S. Lewis from a fiction standpoint, but that's obviously you got Chronicles of Narnia, you've got the Christ figure, you got redemption themes, you've got sanctification themes, and all that kind of thing. And so, you kind of emulate that a little bit. That's kind of your mentor with your themes running through your books there.
And I grew up reading C.S. Lewis. So, and then when I got older, I started reading his nonfiction and then his other like adult fiction. So I'm probably really influenced by him.
Yeah, so definitely. All right. So Jess is above all things creative. She's so creative. She does so many neat things around the office. Our Vacation Bible School this year, the opening was all Jess in terms of like, okay, let's use this as kind of our means to jump into your creation themes. And that was very creative. When I've got little silly projects to do, right? She does those as well. So, which brings me to the next thing to look forward to. Summer gets kind of quiet around here. I mean, it really hit me last week. Jess and I were talking. It's like there's nothing going on, especially coming off of VBS, right? Just high energy, a lot of stuff going on. Then all of a sudden, the place is empty. PJ's off in St. Louis pretending to go to class, Which, by the way, how was that?
It was awesome.
You said the class was just great, right? The class was just great. Good. Glad that you enjoyed it there. I'm thinking in the next couple weeks that we kind of go with a church office Olympics, right? We could have some fun things to do. I'm like, your boys have got the bow and arrow. So a little archery competition. Yeah. That would be fun. Yep. I'm thinking at any given moment, some pastor, now that we've got through myself, my dad, PJ, we will leave a coffee cup somewhere in this building. So find the pastor's coffee cup. That's a good game.
Okay.
Jess, I'm pretty sure that you've got some games that you would think. There are office things going on, right?
Yeah, when I worked at Bank, we actually did an office Olympics. We had to come in early every day because we had to open at normal time. So
so okay.
So one of the games was stacking pennies. Who could stack the most?
Oh, that's I was really bank theme. Sure. Yeah. So you all have money theme. So what? You got any office themed games that we could go with? What do you think?
Well, my thoughts right away go to the gym basketball tournament. I used to play basketball here way back in my 7th and 8th grade year. Fouled out every game to the point where they told me if you foul out again, you're out for the rest of the season. So
you just thought that's what the game was, right? First person to get 5 fouls wins.
I couldn't shoot. So I thought, what can I do? I can't shoot. I'm not fast. I can be aggressive. And, I really took that cheer, being aggressive to heart. That was like my entire season. So I don't know if it would be a good idea to play with me. Someone might get hurt. I don't know. Even you're on your men's basketball team, but
I think we let her guard Anthony. We let maybe Jess can check Anthony. Yeah. Keep him in check. Yes, exactly. How about I'm thinking like binding, right? Like the PJ right here. This is what I mean by binding, right? You take this. Yeah. This is the pericopes, our readings, right? You probably have no idea where this comes from, do you, PJ? Have you ever bound anything?
No. Never.
Binding is not easy. All right. It's a skill. Mm-hmm. It's an acquired skill. So I'm thinking we time people in binding things. Now Jess has got an advantage. We're talking about like the back in the Soviet Union days, probably a little bit juiced up.
I would judge this, in my opinion, because I bind more often than anybody probably in the office. So
yeah, so we'll have that. So look forward to that.
Will that be bound in heaven?
Well,
or will it be loosed in heaven?
When you're binding, do you sing "Bind us together, Lord, bind us"? That was my question.
We could start that. That would be a good service. You have to remember all the words as you bind for extra points.
All right. I think that covers all our official business. Now, so Jess, we have a game, all right, for you because this is my favorite Jess story. We eat lunch every day, right? And we kind of goof around. We have a lot of fun. And one day we're eating lunch. And somehow the subject of quitting your job to play baseball, I don't know how it came up. And Jess says, and I'm trying to remember this as closely as I can. All right. Now, keep in mind, we all have different interests. I don't know anything about the Korean band BTS. That's Jess's, right? That's her, right? Yes, so we all have different interests. That's Jess's favorite, right? Yeah.
We accept each other as we are.
Exactly. Jess says, oh, wait, it's just like in that movie Space Jam when Michael Jordan quit basketball to play baseball. Just like in that movie Space Jam. And it hit me at that moment. I think, I think Jess just thinks that that's the plot of a movie.
He's just a
and
character.
That didn't really happen. To which I asked, and I said, "Hey, Jess, can I ask you a question? Larry Bird, is it a real person or fictional? Oh, goodness, or a fictional character in Space Jam, right?" And I can't remember where you landed.
Oh, yeah.
You had to think about it for a little bit, right?
So I didn't know Larry Bird was in Space Jam. I knew that the guy from Space Jam was in there. So I think Bill Murray and that other guy.
The tall guy, who's Bill Murray. Okay.
But now with
the other guy
those Larry
and
Bird
that tall
commercials for what is that? Allstate or I know who. Now I put two.
Right, you got that now.
Yeah.
PJ and I have a great game. Right, we've got 7 names. All right, and you're gonna tell us. Real person, fictional character.
Okay. I think I might be better at this than you're thinking I'm going to be.
Oh, I think you're going to be great. Okay. And we picked 7 because if you win 4, you win the series. You familiar with the concept of winning 4 out of 7?
No.
Okay, there you go. See, we have so much to teach Jess, right? It's in all sports.
Oh, okay.
When teams get together and play, they don't just play one game to figure out who's best. Sometimes they'll play a 7-game series.
Oh.
And so the first team to win 4 games, they're determined the best because one game might be an upset, so it's a 7-game series, right? We've got 4. I'm gonna start.
Okay.
All right. I'll go odds. You'll go evens. Okay. All right. I'm gonna give you just a name, real person, fictional. Okay. Now my fictional characters, I picked out of literary things. Those are mine. Okay. So is this a literary person from a literary thing or a real person? Here we go. Number 1, Scotty Scheffler.
Scotty Scheffler, real.
What does he do?
Okay. My mind went to piano player, but I know that's not it.
Okay.
I'm gonna say let's go back to sports. I'm gonna say baseball.
He's a golfer.
Oh.
He's the number 1 golfer in the world. Oh. So I figured that would be he's the most famous golfer in the world right now. Yeah. He's absolutely on fire.
You know what?
I think he did just take up the piano though. I think he just started lessons.
He probably plays.
I think he started lessons with Mrs. Haverstack down the street. Anyway, all right. So that's right. So Jess, you're 1-0. That's 1-0. All right.
Okay.
Jess wins game 1.
Okay.
PJ, tell your fictional people come from, or at least your real your fictional people. You made them up because mine are all literary characters.
Right. So think of my interests for my people.
Okay.
That's your hint.
Okay.
So Brandon Lake.
Brandon Lake. Oh, I know that's a real person.
You do?
I don't know who it is though.
Wow.
I know that's a real person.
It'd be bonus, extra credit points if you know who that is. Who that is? Yes.
Oh shoot. Sports? No. He's a music person.
That's right.
Wow.
He's a modern worship leader.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jess is 2-0.
Yeah. I have a Spotify playlist with.
The Spotify playlist got me.
Spotify, that'll get you. That'll get you.
Yeah.
Jess has won the first 2 games at home. Now we're going on the road. That's how they do it. You have 2 games, then you have 2 games road. All right. That's how the 7-game series works. Maybe. I've got an easy one. I've got one that might not be as easy, so I'm going to go with a different one. Okay. Brooks Hatlin.
That sounds fake.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Wow, she's off to a 3-0 start. Do you know who that is?
No.
It's a literary character. It's an obscure literary character.
What's her name again?
Brooks Hatlin.
Brooks Hatlin. It's from a book?
It is from a book, but he's made more famous in the movie. A book that was made into a movie. Think of one of my favorite movies.
Okay, I'm going to go with Shawshank Redemption.
Wow.
I know that's...
right?
Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's one of the
characters in Brooks. Yeah. He's the older guy that got paroled and couldn't make it on the outside.
Oh.
So
I've never seen the movie or read the book, but I don't.
No, you're fired. You're fired. Hey, it's been great having you here. You've been awesome. Right. But now you're fired. That was a weird thing because I read the novella, right? It's a Stephen King. It's not a super long novel. And the Brooks Hatlin character was 2 paragraphs. But in the movie, it was a pretty major storyline that kind of gave a precursor to Red and the Christ figure that's why I'm surprised. Dude, the Christ figure in Shawshank is it's called the Shawshank Redemption.
Yes.
Okay? All right. Anyway.
Well, it's on my list.
The good news is you're 3-0.
Yeah.
You're off to 3-0 start. Yeah. Hardly ever, unless you pull a Florida Panthers, right? You're probably gonna take this home. All right. I don't know if we're gonna get to a game 7. All right, I've done that, and I've done that one. All right. PJ, what do you got?
Okay. I'm going to go with, for this one, I'm going to skip ahead in my list a little bit and go a little more difficult, I think. All right, I'm going to go with Tyler Toney.
Tyler Toney. That sounds fake. I don't think that's.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Okay, we got her.
We got it. All right. It's not a sweep.
It's not a sweep. I think I've talked to you before about Dude Perfect.
Oh,
it's this YouTube thing. My kids love it. I know a ton of the kids in the school love it. Yeah. Right? They're YouTube trick shot guys. They're good Christian guys, and they do this. Yeah. So anyway, he's one of those guys.
Okay.
All right.
So, famous. I wouldn't expect you to know it, but that's a real person.
So you're up 3-1. Yeah. Now you go back home for game 5. All right. This is the game you got to win, because if it gets to 3-2 and you go back on the road again, that's when the real pressure's on. Okay. So this is the big one. All right. Ready? Ludwig Oberg.
Ludwig Oberg. I'm going to say real. Sounds real.
What does he do?
My mind goes to piano again.
Yeah. My mind goes to piano again.
Okay, I'm gonna say sounds foreign. I'm gonna say some sort of sport, and I'm gonna say Olympian, and let's go with skiing.
That's a really good guess. It is foreign. Ludwig is from Sweden.
Okay.
He's a golfer. He's a very good golfer. But he did ski. All right. And anyway, Jess, you just won the series 4-1.
Wow.
All right.
So now
that's very good.
We'll finish. For you guys.
All right. What do you got?
The BTS members. Is it
oh, goodness me. Yeah. I remember you said their names too, but I don't remember.
Well, goodness. Their names and their real names. So
that's a
lot. I have to prepare for this one. I'll give you guys time to prepare for it, but the next time I'm on.
All right. Okay. Sounds good.
As the victor.
My other one, you would know this one. This one was too easy because the Scotty Scheffler one was easy. Holden Caulfield.
Oh, that's real, right?
Oh, how did I not throw that out there?
That's
that's
well, that's why I meant.
It's a real literary person. So he's a fictional person. Yeah, you know who that is.
Right? Is that from Catcher in the
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Catching the Right character. Yeah. You would have got that one. That's why I didn't throw that one out. Who else did you have, PJ?
I was making them up as I went along, so I had unlimited list.
I had unlimited list. Well, we'll have plenty of for next time. Yeah. All right. Jess, anything else you want to promo? Right? That's what do you got?
My book. I have my synopsis for my book, but that's a little lengthy, so we'll save that.
We'll save that one?
We'll leave it. All right. If people go to my website, they can find all of this.
That's called a tease.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
My website is fatheartbooks.com.
Right there on the coffee mug.
And that's called a plug.
Yes.
Exactly.
So this is my new book. And that's what's her name?
Nurse Linda.
Nurse Linda.
AKA Assassin Linda. If you whatever. Yes. So when you call the office, this is the lovely voice you hear. Yes. We are blessed that Jess is part of the team. We have a ton of fun, and you can look forward to that here in the next couple of weeks with the Church Office Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody.